Hi, Helena. It's been a while. How have you been? Have you finally found yourself a boyfriend yet?
I've been fine, thank you. But as for a boyfriend, I'm still on my own.
Really? Wow, so you're still single then, huh? You're almost hitting 40 now, so I guess this is the end of the road for you, huh? Even your younger sister has tied the knot with someone, so I guess you're just a failure now.
It's amazing that you have the time to mock me like this. You're newly married to your husband and should be busy with that.
Excuse me? Unlike someone who's never lifted a finger in their life, I actually have a lot on my plate and don't have much time to spare. I have to make sure that I please my husband. I'm scrubbing the house every day over here. And the only reason I'm talking to you today is because I have some big news to share with you.
What kind of big news do you have to share with me?
Actually, I'm pregnant now. I got married at the perfect age of 24. And at the age of 25, I'm already expecting my first baby. I think I'm living the perfect life right now that any woman would envy, right? Unlike a total loser like you, Helena, I'm acing the game of life.
Congrats, Adriana. That is a very wonderful thing to share with me. Now you'll have even more things to boast to me about.
Wow, you're even more thrilled for me than I expected you to be. I was right to tell you about this now, instead of waiting until later.
Huh? What's wrong with me being happy for you getting pregnant? I think it's normal for everyone to be happy with your new baby. I'm sure that when you tell Dad and Mom about this, they'll be ecstatic with joy.
But you're happy for all of this for a different reason, right? You're happy to hear that you'll soon have a new niece or nephew that you can invite over any time to take care of you when you're old and decrepit, right?
What?
Well, that's why I'm telling you about this now. Now, listen. Just because I'm having a baby and all, that doesn't mean you get to see them and use them for your every whim, okay? I don't want you and your pathetic single woman life getting in the way of my family as you age. So stay away from us, okay?
Wait a minute, Adriana. You actually think someone like me would have such selfish thoughts about you and your family? I would never ask you, your kids, and your husband to come to me when I get older and need help. I have money saved up for that. So when the time comes, I can go to a retirement home.
I doubt that will really happen. You'll be lonely and miserable. So you might go to extremes to get whoever you can to help you, right? You don't even have someone by your side now, promising to look after you when you're old. And I bet that money you're talking about is fake. I'm telling you that if you don't start getting out and working more, you won't have the money to support yourself. And besides, when you get to that age, you should be asking your immediate family for help first. And I'm guessing you'll try and get me or my kids to take care of you then.
I would never do that to you guys. I've been planning for my later years for a long time now, and I really do have the money for it.
You honestly expect me to believe that? Huh? I know for a fact you want to use my kids to take care of you when you can't fend for yourself anymore. But that's too bad for you, Helena. I will never let my kids see you. Ever. And I definitely won't let them go out to look after you at all. So you can stop being happy about me having a baby soon because they are never going to meet you.
Never? You're telling me I can't meet any of your kids in the future because I'm still single?
I think that you are going to try and pamper my kids in order to get them to assist you in your old and helpless. Right? In the future, you'll tell me that you are so good to them and that's why you deserve their help. Or something like that. And then you'll coerce them to have to go to your side and listen to you.
What the hell are you talking about, Adriana? I was genuinely thrilled to hear about you having your first baby, but now that thrill is gone.
If you really want to be a part of my family in the near future, then hurry up and find yourself a husband. Okay? Right now, you are way too old to still be living with mom and dad. And by this point, I'm pretty sure both mom and dad are sick of your nonsense there.
Hey, Helena, have you heard the news? Your little sister is expecting.
Well, if that's what you just found out. She told me that an hour ago, but she spoiled the mood for me really fast. I was so happy to hear that she was going to have a baby, but that quickly changed after what she had to say.
What? What the hell went down between you two?
Even though she's having a baby, she said that a single woman like me will never get the chance to meet them. She thinks that I'll try to spoil them or something, all for the purpose of getting them to look after me in my old age or something. And so she's never going to let a single woman as selfish as me see them. That's what she was ranting about.
What? You're telling me that Adriana said those awful things to you?
I knew that she'd be back eventually and still mock me. She thinks that she's acing the game of life because she got hitched young and is having her first baby only a year later. And compared to her, I'm some kind of hopeless loser who still has to live with you and Dad.
Helena, I am so sorry about all of that. The fact that Adriana turned out like this has to be because of your dad and me.
That's right. Both Dad and you always loved to be more attentive to her and never bothered to show me that same affection. You guys never even acted like you cared about me. Everything had to be about Adriana. And that's the reason why now, even she feels like it's okay to tease me and call me a loser.
That's not it at all, Helena. But it wasn't that your dad didn't care about you. But, well, we were finally able to have another child. And she was our second daughter. And when she was really young, she always fell ill. So we had to give her a lot more time than you. So because of all that, it seemed like we really pampered her. Which we kind of did, but of course, all that's no excuse, right? I'm so sorry about everything, Helena.
At the time, I was a bit scared about what would happen to me. But I've managed on my own so that you don't have to be sorry anymore. But since you guys were the ones that made her this way, I'd like both Dad and you to be the ones to deal with her now. Make sure to celebrate her first baby for me, okay?
Well, about her and that baby. Right now, I'm not really keen on celebrating the fact that she's pregnant.
What? You don't want to celebrate your favorite daughter being pregnant? What's gotten into you all of a sudden?
This all didn't start to happen overnight, okay? It's been like since the day she got married and I started to think differently of her. A lot of things happened between us. And ever since her wedding, I haven't talked to her much.
Is that so? I always thought you kind of toned down with all the affection you've been giving her after she married. What happened between the two of you that I don't know about?
Well, that's the thing. I'll just have to tell you about it later. Just know that because of things, your dad and I aren't really too thrilled about her either. We'll celebrate her pregnancy a bit, but besides that, we have no plans to do anything with her.
I see. Well, she's got her own family now anyway, so that's probably the best option. I wouldn't want things to get worse around us because of her. So it's best to keep creating some distance one step at a time. Let's just be quiet when things come to her and hope that she has a safe pregnancy and delivery.
Get out of here, Helena! This is my house now. I'm moving in with Mom and Dad.
What?
I know you're the reason why I can't come home to have my baby. You've been lying to Mom and Dad and making them hate me. You're just a pathetic old woman who can't stand to see me happy. I've already thrown your stuff out of the window. Go and pick it up before I burn it.
Hold on a minute. What are you talking about? You want to come home and have your baby here? Why do I have to leave for that?
It's tradition, isn't it? Every woman goes back to her parents' house when she's pregnant. That's what I wanted to do. But Mom and Dad told me to stay away. They said I have no place here and I should forget about them.
Really? They said that to you?
Yes, and they wouldn't tell me why. They just hung up on me. That's why I decided to come here anyway. If I show up at their doorstep, they'll have to let me in. Right?
Are you crazy?
And when I got here, I saw something that made me furious. You've taken over my room and turned it into your own. How dare you?
Well, you got married and moved out, remember? And since I got a remote job, I thought I could use your room as my office. It's not like you were using it.
So that's why Mom said I have no room here. Because you stole it from me. You're the one who's been poisoning them against me. You're jealous of me, aren't you? You know Mom and Dad love me more than you.
What?
I want you to leave right now. I don't need your negative energy around me and my baby. I'm here to have my baby in peace. And you're ruining everything.
You have some nerve, you know that? You just barged in here without any warning and expect me to pack up and go? Fine, I'll give you your room back, but I'm not leaving the house.
What? No, that's not good enough. I have my husband with me too. Do you think we can fit in one tiny room?
What? You brought your husband with you? Wait, you mean Ricky? You brought Ricky here?
Yes, of course. He can't live without me. He begged me to take him with me. He's so sweet.
Are you kidding me? You brought the man who cheated on you and got you pregnant here? To Mom and Dad's house?
Well, he's very busy with work. He can't be with me at all the time. And he's not very good at cleaning or cooking. So we came here to get some help from Mom and Dad. They'll take care of us while we relax and enjoy ourselves.
You and your husband. You can't seriously think that you can use Mom and Dad as your servants.
Well, why not? Mom and Dad have always pampered me and done everything I wanted. They love me more than anything, so I'm sure they'll be happy to take care of me again for a while.
Are you delusional?
And the fact that you've taken over my room is outrageous. I want you to pack your bags and get out of here.
You can't just kick me out like that. You need to give me some notice. I have a life here, you know?
Shut up, you lonely old hag. This is not your house. You've no say in what I do here.
Did you just call me a lonely old hag?
Yes, I did. You're nothing but a pathetic recluse. You're way past your prime, and you still don't have a husband. And now you want to mooch off of Mom and Dad for the rest of your days? You're a loser and a parasite.
Wait a minute. I have a full-time job, so I'm not a recluse. I also pay rent to Mom and Dad, so I'm not a parasite. Stop calling me names.
Hey, Helena. Most people your age have moved out and become independent. They get married and have their own families. But you haven't done any of that. You've just stayed here and sucked Mom and Dad dry. It doesn't matter if you have a job or not. You haven't grown up at all. You're a failure and a disgrace to this family.
How dare you?
You're the reason why Mom and Dad don't want me here. You've filled their heads with lies and turned them against me. A leech like you needs to go. Mom and Dad want me back so they can look after me and my baby.
There is no place for you here.
What?
I want you to leave my house now. You're dead and I can't stand the sight of you. How could you barge in here after we told you to stay away? What kind of daughter are you?
Wait a minute. Is that you, Mom?
Yes, it's me. Helena had the day off today, so we decided to go out to lunch and have some fun. And while we were gone, you and your husband broke into our house.
Broke in? What are you talking about? Your adorable daughter and her husband came to surprise you. You want us to stay with you, right? To have our baby here, right? You only said no because of Helena, right?
You're not our adorable daughter anymore. You're a selfish brat who's wasted our money and betrayed our trust. You're dead and I hate you with all of our hearts. Don't you dare blame Helena for anything. She's been nothing but good to us.
Huh?
Don't act so shocked. You and that jerk you married have been stealing your dad and me, right? We thought you would appreciate the nice wedding gift you gave us, but we saw you draining our account without telling us. After your wedding, we went to the bank and found out you and your husband took all of our savings. I guess you're surprised because you never bothered to explain yourself to us.
Huh? Oh, come on, Mom. I said I was sorry for that.
You said sorry? Is that what they call that cheap $10 gift you sent us from your honeymoon? And that note that said, sorry, and then LOL? You thought that was enough to make up for what you did?
Well...
We've always loved you and cared about you ever since you were a baby. And because you were our favorite child, we wanted to give you a beautiful wedding. We gave you $30,000 to help with the expenses, but that wasn't enough for you, was it? You and your husband had to take more of our money without asking.
Well, you see, we needed more money for things. I wanted to give you the best wedding ever because I love you so much. And we didn't have a lot of money, you know? And with that $30,000 you gave us, I couldn't make the wedding as amazing as I wanted. So I took a little more from you.
A little more? You took over $80,000 from us.
But you said you were looking forward to your cute daughter's wedding. So I just wanted to give you a lavish and glamorous wedding for everyone. That's why I just spent your money without checking the prices. That was my way of being a good daughter to you.
I've had it with your nonsense, you worthless, stupid little brat. When we saw how much you took from us, we couldn't believe our eyes. We spoiled you too much. And because of that, we created the most ungrateful monster on this planet.
What do you mean, ungrateful? You are the ones who showed me so much love, right? Why are you turning your back on me now?
From now on, your dad and I are going to change things. I want you to forget about your weak parents from before and meet your new strict parents. It might be too late for us, but we're going to start from scratch with you, and I'll try and raise you right.
But...
Listen, why do you bring your husband if he can't even do any chores in the house? Are you telling me he doesn't know how to live by himself? How ironic that you mocked Helena for that, when the man you married can't even function alone.
But... Mom... He works really hard at his job.
Well then, if you want to stay here, you'll have to pay us $2,000 a month. You can afford that, right? He works so hard at his job after all. Your dad and I will do the chores and take care of you. As long as we get a share of that hard-earned money. You can do that for us, right?
You want $2,000? We don't have that kind of money.
Your sister can afford to live here, and she doesn't even need me to do her chores. That's why we let her stay with us.
You mean Helena can pay that much money to live with you?
She has a very busy job, but she still manages to do her own chores and cook by herself. I only help her out sometimes because she has a lot of work to do. And in exchange for that, she pays us $2,000 a month. So if you really want to live here the next few months, you have to pay the same.
But that's...
But that's what? What are you going to whine about now, you ungrateful witch?
Do
you know when he got married, Helena moved out of the house? She was gone for only a month and we begged her to come back and help us. But because you had taken all our money, she said that she was okay with that because she cared about us. She even paid us double what she pays now to try and save us from bankruptcy.
What?
All her life she had to watch as your dad and I only loved you. She had no reason to care about us, and she could have said no to us. We treated her like dirt, but your sister has a heart, and she didn't want us to suffer because of you. She answered our cries and made sure we were all right. And you want to kick her out of the house like that? I won't let you.
Then what are we supposed to do? We came all this way to live with you while I have my baby. Are you really going to make us turn around and go back now?
You bet I am. Go home now, both of you. If you ever want to come back, you'll have to give us the $80,000 you stole from us. Until then, you're not welcome here.
Are you serious?
We are on our way home now, so you'll have until we get there to leave. And if you don't, we're calling the cops and telling them you broke into our house and need to be arrested.
Hey, Helena. I've been training to reach Mom and Dad for the past 6 months. I told them I had my baby and everything, but they didn't even congratulate me or anything.
Even if they haven't talked to you, they are glad to hear about the baby. They both said they're thankful that the baby was healthy.
Huh? Oh, then why don't they talk to me? If they're glad about my baby, why don't they come over and bring me some gifts? I gave them their adorable little grandbaby.
Huh? You want gifts for having a baby?
I do. It's normal to send someone presents after they've added another member to the family, right? They gave me $30,000 for my wedding a year and a half ago. So for a cute little grandbaby, they should give us at least $50,000, right?
Not a chance. You're not getting a dime from them ever again, actually. Did you forget that you and your lousy husband took all of Mom and Dad's savings without asking? Dad told me that part of that can count as your gift for the baby.
What? But that's not fair. How are we supposed to raise the baby without any money from them?
What? Aren't you supposed to raise and care for the baby yourselves? Don't you have Ricky's income?
Ricky only makes about $1,500 a month, actually. There's no way we can raise a kid with that kind of money.
Ricky makes that little? He lets you be a housewife with that kind of income? I thought he was at least making 3 times that amount.
We're only 25 years old, you know. We can't make that kind of money at our age. Besides, Ricky keeps changing jobs, so he never gets any raise.
Really?
That's why we were hoping for some more money from Mom and Dad. We're really sorry for using up some of their savings for our wedding, but come on. It's not like Mom and Dad haven't forgiven me already, right? And I thought that by having this grandbaby for them, I'd be able to get back into their good graces. But they won't give me any money.
Oh my god, Adriana, was that the whole reason you had a child in the first place?
But Mom and Dad always spoiled me with everything I wanted, right? They loved taking care of me all the time, and I thought they'd want to spoil me forever. And I thought that also meant they'd want to spoil my baby and my husband, too.
Are you kidding me?
But hearing that they won't give me any money this time is not okay with us. Please go tell Mom and Dad that I want to apologize again for using their savings. I've tried to apologize over text, but they never reply to me. So please help me out here.
Well, if you insist, I can tell them since they're right here with me. They're saying that you owe them $80,000 and they'll never forgive you until you pay them back.
What?
You really thought that you could get Mom and Dad to start spoiling you again by having that baby? I'm sorry, but Mom and Dad don't care about you anymore. They want you to grow up and take responsibility for yourself.
But ever since I was a baby, they loved me so much. And they always told me I was so cute and everything. And I wanted them to never be angry with me, no matter what.
You need to wake up and realize that your parents have had enough of your selfishness. I'm done with this nonsense. I have a flight to catch today.
Wait, can't you at least give us a gift? You have a sweet little niece now. I'll even let you meet her soon. As long as you give me some cash as a gift. You're paying $2,000 a month to stay with Mom and Dad, so you can spare us $20,000, right?
Are you kidding me right now? You already said that I'm never going to see your kids, remember? And if I can't see them, why should I give you anything?
What?
You and your husband need to grow up and learn how to take care of your daughter. Adriana and her husband didn't get any gifts from their friends for their new baby. She thought they would shower her with presents and money like they did for her extravagant wedding. But they had enough of her greed and ditched her without a word. She had no idea that she had lost all her friends a year ago, and since she quit her job to be a housewife, she had to look for a new one to support her baby. While she was doing that, my parents decided to visit her and see how she was doing. But as soon as they got there, she started begging them for money. My parents didn't want to leave her alone with her worthless husband and newborn. They felt guilty for spoiling her and turning her into a monster. They wanted to protect the baby from her influence,